Welcome everybody. Y'all ready for this? The Hustle. My name is Steve Aramopoulos, and these are my co-hosts.
I'm Talia.
And I'm Tech Luciano. You may have heard me on radio, you may have never heard of me at all, but that's okay.
Y'all gon' learn today. Your whole life was a struggle, had to make it out the jungle. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle. Under pressure, never break a fold. Keep chasing your goals until you blow. Now, welcome to the hustle.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Hustle Podcast. And we finally got all three of us at the fucking
My
table.
God, it's a fucking Christmas miracle, bro.
It's been a minute, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I haven't been here in so long.
Talia, what was your
haven't.
excuse, man?
Moving season.
Moving season. Moving.
That's it.
Where'd you move?
I didn't move, but I was helping.
So what kind of excuse is that then?
It's me being a good person, helping people move.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, so that's some straight bullshit answer right there. She's been flaking. She's been drinking too much on the weekends. Doesn't want to wake up early. And now we're calling her out on the shit. Get the fucking TikTok
I
started.
would tell you straight up if it was like that was the case.
There we go.
I know I'm not a morning person, but like I wouldn't like flake out because
So you're not an afternoon person either.
I'm just barely a person at this point.
I'm a little cheese today, bro.
Why you cheese, man?
Why?
I think it's Sri Lanka or Bangladesh. They just declared bankruptcy, and that's just fucking me up inside.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I'm sorry.
Wait, hold on, Paul.
That
What's
hits
your
home
what,
to
why
you.
is why is this affecting you?
Absolutely no reason. Absolutely, there's no affiliation over there. No affiliation.
It just sucks. I
Yeah, it
guess.
sucks, man. You see that? Another country going bankrupt over there.
Oh fuck. man.
That's a foreshadowing of what's to come here.
I might sound like a sack of shit, but if you gotta spin a globe and point to a map, it ain't got shit to do with me, bro. I just gotta be honest with you, you know.
Well, you know what I did realize? Gas prices went down a little.
Yeah, don't get too comfortable. It's not gonna stay. And I was actually talking to my girl about that yesterday. I was like so excited that gas was like $1.98, and I'm like, why am I fucking happy about $2 a fucking
Yeah, it's
liter,
still
bro? Like,
expensive.
You see how the shit. He hasn't been here for a while either.
He's still negative. Like nothing's changed.
You were here last.
it's never gonna change.
You were here last.
I'm 34. I'm set in my ways.
But all of a sudden, we haven't seen Tech for quite a bit. He popped in the last episode.
Yeah.
Now he's got a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's
you
that
see-
going?
It's going pretty fucking tremendous. I met the in-laws last night and shit.
Yeah.
I was
Fast.
over
That's
there in
moving fast,
Sorel
Tech.
speaking French. I was out there with all the paparos, you know what I'm saying? Speaking mad
and we
French.
got our
We got
guest.
Tags in the
Our guest
building.
is here. So we're doing a little new thing recently. That when a guest is a little late,
Yes, sir. Long time, bro. Long time.
when the guest is a little late, we start off. Just get the vibe going, you know what I mean? Welcome to the show, Mr. Muntree, Mr. 514, Taigenz in the building, everybody.
Nice to have you here.
We went back always just there. Trust me, bro. Yes,
Welcome
sir.
to the show, man.
For having me.
You had a little bit of a rough time getting here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, like I know Trans Canada, but I was like, I don't know to what extent. And I was like, oh wait, holy, I gotta.
Look, I'm gonna blame it on the Jazz Fest. Jazz Fest yesterday, a bunch of people are leaving the city. You know what I mean? You got all this crazy traffic. I'm pretty sure the Uber fees are like fucking skyrocket.
It wasn't. I mean, considering it wasn't too crazy, so I was like, all right. I was already like, I was just 10 minutes away, but around this area, like 10 minutes away, just with how everything is set up.
Yeah. You're in the industrial
The
zone.
detour's got a detour, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Trust me.
Well, you're here now, so
Yeah.
welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So how you doing, my man?
I'm good. I gotta say, I love this set.
Thank
You know
you.
what I'm saying? I became recently a poker aficionado in the sense.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's
Tagging's making money out here, bro.
that's the secondhand consequences of a lockdown. You know what I'm saying? I just went online and just taught myself poker.
That's it. No, yeah. You got to do something with those 2 years, bro.
So,
It's
yeah.
actually a hustle if you know what you're doing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Big time. Like,
Definitely.
I know some guys from Shottown that made like literally M's, bro, off of
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, yeah.
poker. Like it's crazy.
No, you got to have the discipline of
It wasn't me.
holding on to them cards, playing correctly. You know what I mean?
There's a magic in folding. A lot of people don't know. They think it's like, nah, bro, you gotta. It's good. It's a good game to teach you. a
Bro,
few life lessons,
Kenny
too.
Rogers was trying to tell y'all that shit
Nah,
since the
for real.
70s, bro. Like you guys don't even
You gotta
understand
know
the game, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know who Kenny Rogers. Jesus Christ.
Gotta know when to fold them, know when to hold them, know when to run.
You never heard that
You
song?
know, you heard the
gotta
song. You've heard.
know
You just don't
when
know.
to hold them. Know when to fold them. Yeah, you never heard that? You never heard that song.
Why do you have to like look at me like
You've
that?
heard it in the
Like,
movie for
Cuz.
sure.
Exactly. I was going to say. Definitely been in movies.
Don't
you know
ever
what I mean?
disrespect me not
probably-
knowing who Kenny Rogers is.
Sorry.
The fuck is going on right now, son?
I'll do some research.
But
later.
so let me do the prolific intro thing that I usually do. It might not be that prolific. I feel like shit today, but fuck it. So we got Taigenz in the building. This guy, man, he's been on the scene for a while. Actually, I've interviewed this guy like back when I had a radio show, so that's going back a ways. Rapper aficionado, super intelligent on the business aspect of things. Probably one of the more educated artists, honestly, in the city in terms of the business aspect. Like if you watch this guy's posts, you could learn a lot of shit, a lot of gems just on the business aspect of music. And also one thing that I actually attribute to you that I thought of today on the way here, because I was listening to some music, was that you were like, in my opinion anyway, probably one of the first people in Montreal to fully embrace Afrobeats, but like way before the wave started. Cause like the wave is here now. It's a tsunami. I mean, it's all I fucking listen to at this point. But like this guy was really, you were on that shit back from like 2014, all 15 and shit. So yeah, bro, he's the Afrobeats pioneer in Montreal. I said it.
Yo, dog, that's an honor, bro. Thank you for
sure.
for mentioning that, for real. That's
Hey, yo.
big Q.
Big Q. And that was like a sound effect, though. If it was like the horn, that would have sort of been like...
My reminder for paternity court avoidance.
Okay. Anyways, back to Tay.
That's creepy, man.
Back to Tay. So yeah, dude, you've been doing your shit for a long time. Like I think you've been doing it close to 10 years, but like you've been releasing music.
I mean, if we're talking about just
rapping,
being just doing it,
I think straight releasing, I'd say around 10. But actually doing it,
yeah, just doing it. I've been doing it longer. Like I've been doing it longer than I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. I swear I did a show you at Alizé in like 2009, bro.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
long time ago. I swear to God.
And even at that, I was like 5 years in doing it.
Yeah,
like, I've been doing it since before I got to high school. I've been rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like so. I've been moving and you know, he can attest to that. We've been moving around in the circles of who's been around the city since we was kids. Before I was even legal to get in the club, I was performing in clubs. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I've been doing a lot of, so I've seen a lot, you know, it's waves, you know, I've seen a lot, been around a lot, you know, whether first hand or second or third hand, it's like just a lot of stories I'm aware of, a lot of things that I was able to see, and just I'm happy that I haven't stopped.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy because there are a lot of people that when I started that's been around that, you know, for X or Y reason, you know, it's not to put any, like life happens, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I recognize that life has happened to me, but it hasn't happened in a way that made me be like, okay, I gotta stop. And if I don't stop now, then I don't think I'll ever stop. You know, if not at this point, it's like, it's really ingrained in me. It's like whatever level I'm at.
Yeah. We were actually talking about that outside. Yeah. Like, bro, this guy has been consistent throughout all these years. He always drops. I haven't seen him take like a hiatus. He's constant, you know what I mean? And the fact that you have that instilled into your mind, it's like waking up and going to the gym or something.
Yeah,
I gotta make music.
Yeah, it's like breathing. It's like you don't stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever happens, you don't stop doing it. So it's I appreciate that for real. It's because it's like it's even releasing is always energy behind it. Where like I'm just trying to just get better and just, you know, just be different, get better, be consistent, and show value and create value. So going back to the Afrobeats thing, it's like it's something like when you think about it, it's something I've been wanting. Not that I've been wanting to do, but it's like I started gradually embracing it at that time. Well, I want to say embracing it on the side of this side of the world. Because I'm from Cameroon, like it's my culture.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, all the guys that are big now, like I've been aware of them from time. You know, before they really scratched the surface on this side of the world, I was already paying attention to what they were doing in 2010, or even earlier than that. The older groups that pioneered the older Afrobeats genre, especially when it comes to like, you know, the mainstream Nigerian artists that we know. Like I know where they got their influences from because I listen to the same music as them, or from where my family's from Cameroon, where what my parents listened to. So, but growing up here, it's like it stayed at the crib.
Yeah,
you know, I didn't really bring it outside. Right. Then when I came outside, it's more like, okay, what's happening here? You know, okay, we all in that hip hop, we all in that. And even at the time, it wasn't even like that. It was more. If it wasn't hip hop, it was dance hall. That was really, really all over and everything. Which is it's around. I'm just saying, but at that time, it was really like, okay, if it's either hip hop or it's dance hall or it's R&B or whatever. But like Afro or anything like that, it's like it's cultural, it's traditional, it's world music.
So
it's
was there ever like a, because I know like in the UK it's different because there's a massive like African population in the UK, but like over here, like would you say that there was kind of a stigma maybe attached to like African music? Was it something that you kind of felt like you had to?
I don't want to say stigma, but there was definitely a high level of ignorance.
Yeah,
definitely. Like if you wasn't from there, and even if you were, you didn't really make the effort to really explain to people that weren't from there, because it's like, you also attribute it to it's your parents' music in a sense where it's like, I'm not, it's like, it's what my parents do. Like, it's just, I'm into this hit. Like when 50 came out, I wasn't even trying to listen to like the African stuff outside, you know, when it's family gatherings and everything like that, like, okay, fine, we're at home, but I attribute it to just, we're at home and it's my culture. But when I go outside, it's like, I'm just exactly, you know, I'm a little kid wearing my long tees and do-rags and bandanas and everything like that, you know. So it's but there was a level of ignorance where those who already aren't from there just don't know, and they don't really and if they really want to know, they have to really make the effort. But the information the same way it wasn't there, and then the type of music, probably the type of music too, wasn't in a way that it could be consumed in a way that it could be accepted here the way it is now. And that is a thing where it's a timing thing, and you know, things need to fall in certain spaces and places for things to develop, for things to be finally consumed in a way that it should be, and that does take time. And I'm just happy that we're in a time where I'm still able to be creatively active when that is happening, and I grew up with the transition. Like I grew up with that growth, you know. When I was a kid, it was one thing, but then it's like when I became a teenager, and then in my early adulthood life, it's like I'm seeing the transition, I'm growing with it, and I am adapting it to my style as I'm developing myself as an artist. So I think it's really it's like a window of opportunity that is just like you just grew up with, things that you got to take advantage of it. Like at least for me, it's like I'd be a fool if I wouldn't take advantage of it. And many people on my side, they'd be like, yo, you need, since that time 2014, they're like, yo, you need to drop an Afrobeat project, you need to yo switch to Afro like fully, you know what I'm saying? Like you can do it. It's like it's you regardless. I'm like, no, for sure. It's just, you know, it's a transition thing, and also you want to know where to creatively cultivate the space. And also, if you're not around it so much, like if you're not around it so much in terms of being around a lot of artists and production, it's tough. So when I do like my all the songs I made that like Afrobeat and everything like that, like I communicated with producers outside of the continent, like they were in Europe or they were in Africa in general, because it's already more or less established
straight to
there.
the source.
Yeah, I had to. You can't really come here because it's like, I don't know how, to what extent it's developed here, and then to what extent people really develop and create the sound. And
I think here it's just people trying to ride a wave, unfortunately. And
with everything.
And that's like, that was going to kind of be my next question, is like, is there a part of you that's kind of jaded about it because it's like, oh, now you guys want to accept this shit? Like, you know what I mean? I was like, your whole childhood, you were kind of not like hiding it, but like, you know what I mean? You kind of felt like we talked about the stigma, and now everybody just wants to make an Afrobeats project. It's like,
I mean,
for real, you know?
I have it at like 0.01% because you know what, like it only opens more opportunities for people like me, to be honest. So if you got people that want to hop on, like with everything is new, it's shiny, I gotta hop on it, I gotta do my own version of it. Okay, fine, but that opens the door for other. Like I was able to grow and see the long-term effects before that happened. So if Beyonce makes a Wakanda album, it's like, okay, fine, but she put a Cameroonian artist on there. You know what I'm saying? So his name is Selassie. A lot of people have no idea who he is, but now they do. He's associated to Beyonce.
Right.
And then he's going to go back to Cameroon. He's going to be messing around with his network of people. Sure. And then if I go back, I'm probably going to know some of the people he's messing with. Then bam, I'm connected with him indirectly. And then bam, they're going to be like, oh, yo, but you in North America. You know, I don't know Selassie. Okay, but that's my cousin's boyfriend's whatever. And then it just comes back, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, oh, snap. And then now there's a potential link. And the parallel could happen in different ways. So on this side, it's like, the one thing that is kind of the exception, at least for Afrobeat, is like not everybody can do it alone, in the sense where you can't have a random person who's not African, who never grew up with the culture, just do Afrobeat. It's easy to, obviously with music, you can always make a production.
Yeah, you can emulate.
There's a feel of it.
There's an authentic, there's a soul.
You can't fake the feel.
It's soul, bro. You have to have the soul. If you don't have the soul in that type of music, it just doesn't work.
And it's fine if you're not from there and you want to try it, because it's very, in the culture, it comes from a culture that is very inviting anyway. If you go to an African party, no matter where you're at, if people are dancing, like they want you part of it. You don't have to know how to dance. You don't have to know, just be in the vibe.
Well, good, because I can't dance.
That movement, no, but if you come to the Afro, like you have dance, you could just follow, you could just two-step or just be in the vibe. They got you. It's like nobody's mean mugging, nobody. It's a very inviting culture in a sense. So it only makes sense that people have no problem inviting the other types of, like Ed Sheeran, for example, getting on a remix. Like, I'm not mad at it. Like, it's dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's very welcoming.
He kind of killed it.
And that's what I'm saying. And you know, he actually killed that remix. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's inviting, and you know, the thing is that you're with people who understand the soul and the feel, so they can give that to you in that moment. But you alone, it's hard to just generate it alone, because that's not where it's from anyway. Even if it's like, if you watch the videos like that, a lot of people are still always in people. A lot of people are still around people. They go to the village. They're surrounded by their village people. It's like just a big ass block party in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's energy is everywhere. So it's really, that's like the part of it where it's like, it only makes sense that at one point it takes the world, because it's inviting.
But not only that, I mean, if you really think about like all of hip hop, dance hall, all of these, like it's literally the stem.
It's the stem
to all of these types of music.
And it only makes sense if there's a dance hall Afrobeat marriage. It only makes sense. You know what I mean?
That's
because
where the roots are.
The roots come, and then you see when it comes to how things are made, or the songs, or even the language put together, like it perfectly makes sense. And it's like, yo, of course. Yeah, it's duh, you know. So
it's undeniable, honestly. For me, that music is undeniable, bro. Like I don't. Like I said, I can't dance, but that should be making me move, bro. That shit's that's out of
control. You hit the party, trust me, your body starts moving on its own. Body moves. That's what it is.
So
no, not those moves. Keep those moves to yourself, son.
Afrobeats, and that's how I do the Tina twerk. You know, like where she's.
Oh, I know what you mean.
That's the Karen twerk.
Okay, but you see that shoulder.
It's just like you instantly want to like.
That's the Karen twerk right there.
But there's an Eritrean. I don't know if it's Eritrean or Ethiopian, but on that side of the continent, they have a traditional dance where it's like where they really move their shoulders, where the woman. So it's like you're doing that, but no, it's really I can't do it, but there's a traditional dance, and that it really involves shoulders. So if you do it, it's like you're not even completely off the mark. Because and somebody from there could be like, oh, and then they can actually try, and a woman could try to see, and then she try and show you probably, you know what I'm saying? So
they're like, wow, you're doing it perfectly. I was like, what?
I never know.
So the vibes is there. The vibes is there. So all that is like, I'm gradually incorporating that to my stuff. But you know, I'm also from the school of guys who just write and spit and everything like that. So it's like it's a perfect marriage for me. Where it's like if I want to just go hard on the bars, I can. But if I want to add the rhythm and if I want to make the girls move, I could do that too, you know. And I don't think everybody can do that. So I'm taking advantage of that.
So let me ask you, like, who would you compare yourself with in like this day and age, old, new? Who would you?
I'm gonna give you the most common comparisons I get, and not just from me, but just from people. So there's two artists. And then I guess I have to use it. So I'm compared very often to Wale and Burna Boy.
Okay.
So Wale in terms of subject matter, Burna Boy in terms of my look.
Okay.
I can see both. Yeah, when you break it down like that.
And then both of them are dark skinned with dread. So like, also it's like we're all three. So if you put three of us in a room, you think like, oh, all you guys cousins. Like, it could be to that point. But I get those comparisons all the time. And at first I was like, but I was like, okay, what? I'll take it. You know, that's not bad people to be compared to. Nah. You know, and I could,
I'll take
and I could pull whatever from them. I can listen to what they do and just pull inspiration from them. And also culturally, we're all close in culture. Like they're both from Nigeria, but I'm from Cameroon, where we're neighboring Nigeria. They both speak Pidgin. I speak a bit of Pidgin, and like if I sit down with all three, we can all understand each other. You know, but obviously they have their own respective cultures in terms of Yoruba culture in Nigeria. But it's like we're all be compared to guys that are basically look like you and are basically of the same root as you. It's like, all right, whatever. I ain't mad. So
your comparisons are not bad, bro. I get Fat Joe and Paul Blart. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, I would take the Wale over that any day. It's Fat Joe I'm not mad at, but the Paul Blart thing, I gotta relax a little bit, man.
So Taigenz, you've been doing this for a long time, man. Yeah. What made you like choose hip hop as an outlet? Like, and what made you like? How did you get to? I think it was the Muntree experience when you finally dropped that. That was, I think, your first drop, like, hitting the streets.
In general, what made me do hip hop is it kind of saved me mentally. I think I tell this a few times now. Now that I'm older, I reflect on my childhood. I think I went through like a mini depression. I don't know. I probably wasn't diagnosed. but just going through life and just dealing with. At one point in my life, especially my childhood, I was dealing with a lot of stuff that would be tough for like a 9-10-year-old to deal with, and I just found I was always, not always, but like once I knew I was in love with hip hop, just to listen to it, I tried my hand at writing, and then I just felt like a door open, you know, like when you just try something and everything just comes easy to you in a sense where there's no friction, there's no, you know, there's a freedom to it.
It's like an escape.
I'll never forget my first. I was in 5th grade, just when taking my random notebooks instead of doing homework. I just started writing, and I was just like, yo, this feels good. This feels good. And then since then, it was really that. I remember, and I was just, it wasn't perfect. There was no structure, no nothing, but I could just put words together and rhyme, and then they could create a picture. I'm like, okay, I feel good after doing this. It's like a breath of relief when you're done writing, and then you continue about your day. So since then, it was really that simple. I'm like, okay, this is going to be part of my life for God knows how long. Now, moving forward, I guess a big fast forward to the Muntree experience, which was recently, last month. It was to promote my release of my latest EP called Life for Life. Life for Life, go stream that, all platforms. So the Muntree experience is a concept that I came up with during the pandemic.
Okay.
I came up with that where it was like, I was just sitting at home and I was like, yo, how can I do something where I could bring people together, or once we can go outside again, how can we bring people together, but in a way that they're there for a purpose, and I could still promote what I'm trying to do, but without being too selly, but just to create a moment. And I was like, okay, let me see. One thing that pissed me off about, you see a lot of things when you do this for as long as you do, whether locally, internationally, whatever. You see a lot of things and you put a lot of things in mind. Outside, there's like maybe less than 5 people, and you are one of them, that when I sit down with them, I actually I've never had not a good talk when I sat down with him. So I know I'm sitting down with you guys, it goes in the same world. I'm putting you guys on that list. But there are a lot of people who can't actually talk to people. They can't ask questions. They can't actually do interviews. They can't create a setting where the artist can just actually speak about themselves. A lot of that locally, because guys are getting on platforms and then just having mics and be like, okay, so keep asking the same generic questions, and they don't even know what's going on in that artist's life, at least in the short term. So y'all just brought up the Muntree experience, and it's a joy for me real quick, you know? It's like, okay, like, and it's not to say I don't expect y'all to do a basic amount of research. It's just that so many interviewers don't do any basic research. They'll be like, okay, we have a guest over. Who is he? I don't know. They figure it out like 30 seconds before.
100%.
And then they give the open questions where they don't interview. They're like, okay, tell us about yourself. What's your name? Where you from? And then that interview is actually, now he's learning what their name is, where they're from. Yeah. And then on the spot. So, and I've been through that many times. So I'm like, okay, I want to create a thing where I could sit down and actually have somebody that could do some research on me and then ask me actual questions in a way that even the people who know me personally will still be surprised. So how can I put that together? And I know my performance game is one of my strongest suits in general in the world. I just love performing. And then that basically was the 2 pillars of the Muntree experience, where I don't remember ever seeing an artist having a one-on-one sit down where they invited their people that have shown support, and it's just a moment. So I tried that in December when we were like, you know, I don't know if you remember December, there was like, they were easing up a bit, but there was still limits in venues. So I tried out in December at a small venue downtown, Smart Lab, my boy Doho, I gotta plug him, shout out to Doho. He lined me up with a spot, Smart Lab downtown, and I did a thing where I invited just 20 to 25 people who have proven that they support. It doesn't necessarily mean friends, but just people that I know with stats they support, whether it be sharing, streaming, buying merch. Like some people have spent over $100 on me, you know what I mean, just off merch. So it's like, okay, I invite you to come share a moment with me. There's no charge. The only thing I ask you is if you feel like you want to have a friend, if you can, I invite you to bring one friend that you feel will appreciate the experience. And I make sure to call it an experience, not a show.
It's an intimate.
It's a moment. Experience. You know what I mean? Where I'm gonna have a sit down with somebody one-on-one. I'm gonna handpick the person to sit down with, that I have a good relationship with as well. We'll sit down. We'll talk some shit. They're gonna ask me a bunch of questions. Then I'm gonna give you guys an intimate performance. And then people responded very warmly to it. So the first time was about 20, 25 people, given the circumstances of lockdown. And that was a test run. I didn't have no project out, no nothing. I just had music that I already had out, wanted to test that out. But then now I was working on my EP with Life for Life, and okay, I think I could try again the Muntree experience, but now there's no restrictions as a release event. So I did that.
Oh, we got Mackie Lavender in the building. Back at it.
So this time I went. This is where it's good to have a database of people, right? I said yes the first time. I went back to those 20, 25 people. Then I added more, and then I had basically just a bit double of the amount of people, so between 50 to 60 people. With more people bringing people that they didn't know me, and that time they learned me that day. Then now they bought in.
I think that's such an organic way to get your fan base.
That's literally what I was thinking. It's very like organic and it's real and it's nice, you know, to be around people that are supportive and that they actually want to be there for you and you want to be there with them. So,
but they also feel it works also because they feel invested. They feel they were personally reached out to you know what I mean?
Like they feel like you give a shit as much as they do.
Exactly, and that's the point. I wanted to really show my acknowledgement to them. Be like, yo, I see you.
I appreciate you,
and I want you to come share this moment with me. Bring one friend, bring two that you feel will also appreciate this, and then we'll go from there. So when I tried that one this was the real Muntree experience, which was recently last month, and that really showed me that, okay, this can really grow. You know what I mean? We start from 20, 25, we went to 50 to 60. Next one, we could go to over 100 people, easy.
Yeah.
Because I now have a list of the 60 people that were there. Yeah. And then if they each bring +1, that's already 120.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You know? And then boom, next thing you know, it's like
you're gonna be ready.
Yeah, maybe. What I love about it is that it's not overly promoted. Like I didn't post about it. Those who knew were those who were reached out to. Yeah, and then the people were like, oh, send me the flyer. I'm like, no. I'm purposely not sending you the flyer. This is not a thing where you're just posting like that. Like you are invited. If you want to bring somebody, you can. They're like, oh, snap, like, yeah. You know, and then it's also a little FOMO type of thing I'm trying to create. Because also these show bookers and everything like the agents and everything like that is for them to be like, yo, at one point I want him to feel like, yo, what the hell? This guy has like X amount of people.
Did you have the virtual performances as well though?
So I had my boy, I had my boys pull up and set up the virtual experience. But that too, it wasn't promoted ahead of time. Those who couldn't make it that day, I sent them the link. Okay. Oh, you can't make it today? Here's the link to watch it virtually. You know, and then you could share it to her, but that's happening right now.
So and then they're watching it and they're like, oh, I want to come to the next one.
Exactly.
They missed out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very smart.
I think it was the track Come Around, Not Around. Like I saw the video. The video was nice.
Respect.
Your energy in it was super dope.
Respect.
Then I saw the performance. Like you mentioned, bro, performing is in you. So like just seeing you like rip it up and everything and like bringing that energy and the way you deliver the hook.
Yeah. That's actually one of my personal favorite songs too. I created it just off like freestyling. I was freestyling. The chorus was a freestyle basically. And then the song wrote itself. Like when those things happen, it's like
that's the best feeling.
Yeah.
You feel so accomplished.
Yeah.
You start freestyling, you're like, wait a minute, why does this flow work?
Yeah. So it's
and you've done the song in like 10 minutes, you're like, yes.
What were the influences behind it? Were you listening to something earlier that week or something that was just in the car all day?
I had a thought of so Come Around, Not Around. When I had that freestyle, I like I said, it started off as a freestyle. I was with my boys' crib and just playing instrumentals, and I just had that thought. The freestyle I had it like several months before I even had the beat. But the thought came from just a concept of like, and this is no shout to women, I love women, but just the inconsistencies of decision making.
We're gonna get to that too.
which is the idea of the chorus. Like,
what do you want to eat?
Girl, you say that you down. I don't think that you down. When I come around, you don't hit me all the time. When I'm not around, you gonna hit me all the time. You know, it's like that. It's basically that. And it's a concept I just played with, you know, and it really happened to me maybe only once. Like there was one girl that she said was gonna she came in the city and then she did her thing, and then when she left, now she's like reaching out to me all the time, and I'm like, "Yo, bro, like,
you know why?
I was here, like,
be like, you know why? That's human nature. That's not just girls. That's
absolutely,
too,
absolutely.
You know?
But and that's why I said it's no shot. No, for sure.
Still,
and I invite a woman to take it and create her own remix, and because there's the same thing happened on the guy's side. But I had fun with it. It was my song. I was like, "Yo, let me just, you know."
I think I know the reason why, Taigenz. Because she may be a crypto thought.
I knew you were going there.
She's a crypto thought, bro.
Maybe that one led to that. Yeah. Maybe.
See, I think that's how crypto thought came to be. It was because of that track and that experience.
Maybe.
You know, she was trying to take all your Ethereum for a big yacht. What's that line, dude? Like,
using my Ethereum, shopping for a big yacht, or using all my Bitcoin, trying to get a wristwatch.
Yeah. There's a lot of crypto thoughts out there. Yeah. That right there, like, I think you nailed it on the head, bro. That from like my experiences, you see all these like upper bougie chicks, you know what I mean? That are full lip injection, this and that. They're all vying for that crypto. Have you had any experience like that?
Listen, man. Everybody get it how you can, because men are crypto too. Let me tell you right now, it goes both ways. Like I said, it was just a twist that I wanted to play with. But
I like how you're being politically correct.
No, it's
trying not to get canceled, guys.
No. What I own up to what I say. Like I do believe both men and women are cryptos. However, it's just it was a way of having fun with it, new age gold digging. You know what I'm saying? And especially the timing now with everything. You know, like especially during the pandemic, everybody was all up on all the coins and everything, whether they really knew about it or not. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yo, y'all riding the wave, you know what I'm saying? But it's these things, this is where my inspiration comes from sometimes. I just look at life and like, I look at life in a serious way, but then I'm like, yo, how can I just have fun with this? Mm-hmm. You know, every day there's a new discourse of what men should do for women or women should do for men. And I just laugh at it all the time. And I'm like, yo, if my guy, bro, like, if she wants you if you're carrying cash, she's not going to deal with you. She wants crypto, bro. She wants crypto. You know what I'm saying? You gotta send that Bitcoin to her account. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do in 2022 and beyond. And I'm just taking that. I laugh with. I literally when that too. That song created itself. I was freestyling the chorus, heard the beat, and I'm like, crypto. That's the bounce and everything. I was at home and I'm like, yo, this is. Yeah, like,
it was fun. It was a fun track. I like listening to it. The lyrics are funny.
Yeah, so and you know, it's a relatable song. A lot of people don't want to go to work. You know what I'm saying? They want to go to work. They want their bills to be taken care of, and I ain't mad. Yeah, I ain't mad. This world is tough, man. So listen,
get it how you get it.
Get it how you can.
We ain't mad.
Drop a low.
We ain't mad.
So what are we working on next, Taigenz?
So
like, we got the Muntree experience.
Yes,
that's
sir.
in the works. It's still pumping as we're going. Is there anything else that you have bubbling up? Something that you got in the vault?
I started working on I actually now officially started my first full Afrobeat project.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
giving the people what they want.
Yeah, I've been giving crumbs of it in the last few years, and every time I drop a bit of crumbs, like people they really take it and they go faster with it. Like my highest stream song is called "Speak the Truth." That was on my last album. The same album is "Come Around Not Around," and that is what that got me like to people in South America. Mm-hmm. In Europe and everything. I'm like, okay, well, I see the potential. The potential is there, so I just gotta keep working at it. So now I'm gonna do an official Afrobeats project. For when, I have no idea. I'm aiming for late this year or early next year, but it'll come when it'll come. I have already a few songs I'm working with. I have a few songs already put together, and I'm just in open inspiration mode right now. I'm just getting inspired everywhere, looking at life, and you know. At the same time, trying to create hits, man. Like I'm not just writing just like that. Like, I'm also trying to create. I really want this to be a hit maker in a sense where you listen to it, it's undeniable no matter where you are. Mm-hmm. You know, it's got to be unfucking deniable, and that's where my energy is at. And I think with this, I could do that really and put everything I have under my belt, you know, and really expose it to the world. And in that way, it's like it's not just Montreal, it's not just Quebec, it's not just Canada, but it's like, you know, this guy's coming out from here, but he's really a worldly individual. Mm-hmm. That's what I believe. So I'm working on that. I got a show on the 13th. Shout out to Coolio. He put me on the bill. August 13th. Well, follow me on the platforms. I'll put more info on that. But those are the two main things that I'm doing. Yeah.
Sick. You mentioned that you're working with all these producers from all over the world and everything. Do you have any plans to like start hitting the road, start doing something out of Montreal, out of the city?
Absolutely. Like that's there's nothing concrete right now because now I'm back in creation mode, but I will want to do that, you know, set things up for even going back to the States just a bit or going to new ground, like, or going to Latin America, you know. Like I taught myself Spanish in 2017.
Wow.
So, and I haven't been to the South yet, and I'm adding that to my music. Yeah. You know, so now it's like, hey, rappers or whatever, you want a cheat code, learn the next language. Because when you actually, and I think that's why I haven't actually had a writer's block in like almost 4 or 5 years. Because when I'm writing, I'll write in English first.
And then you'll pick a
But
Spanish
then when I feel like I'm blocked somewhere, I'll literally switch language in my head. But when you switch language, you switch words, expressions, ways of seeing things, and it's like, oh snap. And then you can switch it back. Yeah. A word can rhyme in one language with a different language, and you switch it back. And that's what I've been doing. And then sometimes I don't even have to, and then I'll probably translate back to English, and then now find a new way to say what I'm trying to say. Right. So it's like that was unexpected cheat code. I have like 5 languages in my head now, you know, so it's really dope. So sometimes I'll write and I'll switch to Spanish, and I have a song right now that I'm working on. There's like, it's a bit of Spanish in there, and the producer, he's Latino. He's in Montreal, so there's some Montreal production on there as well. Okay. Shout out to Nueva Vista, and like I was with him, I was like, yo, I have these bars, whatever. What do you think? He's like, okay. I gave him the bars. He's like, I'm like, you gotta validate it. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to hear it. And he's like, oh no. And he already off the jump. He's like, yo, like, I see what you're doing. I'm like, all right, bless. Like, if I got the co-sign from, you know, it's dope. So then now you put that back, I could switch to my parents' dialect. You know, and then I could switch to Pidgin, and then I bring it back to English. It's like, it's a gem. It's full of gems that I could work with. So I'm really in a space where, so when I put all that and I go on the road, it's like you can put me on any continent, literally, and I'll be able to make it happen. So yeah, road works is definitely, getting back on the road is one of the most primary objects, but I want to make sure the foundation is solid now. That way when I go, it's an oil machine. Yeah.
You mentioned that you're working on the Afrobeats album. Yeah. Is it something that you've been working on for a long time? Have you been working on this for a while?
I kind of have.
And you've just been like keeping the best of the best, tucking it to the side?
And when I say I have been working on it, it's just I've been letting ideas culminate in my head for years. I've been letting ideas just flow in my head. I do, let's say, like, for example, Life for Life was just for me to drop something because I haven't dropped a project since before pandemic. And those ones were songs, like half of it was already written, and I was able to complete it. And I was like, okay, this is a general vision, at least for where I'm at right now, while I'm still working on the Afro side. Initially, it was going to be all put together. It was going to be some traps, going to be some and Afro. And I was like, no, let me split it. That way I can really maximize. Yeah, you know. And even on Life for Life, there's a little inch of it, like my song called Païdés. First of all, it's the only French song I have. And it's the only song, it's my first song fully rapping in French. But also there's the African part of it where even my French is slightly like from where it's like a Cameroonian French, like the expressions I'm using. Well, I'm speaking in French, so I'm using my Cameroonian French accent a bit on it. Expressions are a bit there, and then the sound and the feel, like Afro drill put together, and it's like that was like another crumb. That is the song that a lot of people gravitate to, and I'm gonna take that energy and move forward. So there's a lot of crumbs. I'm gonna go back to what I've done. Like, go on Spotify right now and just create like an Afro Takes playlist with just a few songs I've put together for the last 4, 5, 6 years, and I'm gonna use all that. And that's what I've been using all that to put together. So now it's like I have songs that obviously are more fresh or more new, but that have old ideas, but I'm just refining them. Right. And that's more or less how I've been working this project. So hopefully when it comes out, it's like, yo, it you can hear that he took his time, but it's current and it works, and it's even pushing the envelope. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a dope way to approach it. I'm looking forward to the drop. Yeah. We'd like to see what you're gonna do with it. You know what I mean?
The next Muntree experience, it'll happen, and then y'all be invited for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're in on that. Yeah. Unfortunately, you came a little late today.
I know.
So we're gonna have to start trimming down this episode. There's a thing that we do around this time that you got to pick up that gem, bro. Okay. Pick up that gem in the middle of the table, and you drop a gem on the people out there. It could be somebody that's doing music, somebody that's trying to struggle and achieve their dreams and everything. Give them a piece of advice. What can they do to better their hustle?
I came across a video on YouTube a few weeks ago, and the concept's been stuck in my head since then. It's a concept called Wu Wei. It's an older Chinese concept, Wu Wei. And the idea is to do what you need to do, you know what I'm saying, put in the work, but sometimes not putting the work, not putting the work, like sometimes inactivity is activity. You don't always have to stay moving. Do what you need to do, and then let things fall into place, and then let time do what it has to do, and then now when things have adjusted, then you get back to work. And then since then, that's how I've been moving. Because, you know, you could easily, especially as a hustler, as an entrepreneur, you feel like if you're idle, you're not working. That's not true. Monday, Tuesday, you do what you need to do. And then Wednesday, you rest. Or Wednesday, you just let what things need to, like a garden, you just let it be. You need to let the seeds at least get comfortable in the soil. Let the rain fall, let the sun shine, let a few leaves start sprouting out. Now you get back to the field and then you see what's going on. Okay, bang, I got to go here. You know, so that's basically the idea I have from what I got from the concept of Wu Wei. And I suggest everybody to apply that to avoid burnout and to avoid telling yourself you ain't shit when you're really just putting in the work, you know.
I think that's a great gem. It's like patience is a virtue, you know what I mean?
And it's a way of testing patience too. And play some poker. That will definitely help your decision making.
I think you can apply that to the poker world.
Absolutely.
Well, Talia's a good liar, so it makes sense.
I'm playing online. No one can see my bluff face.
So Taigenz, where can we find the music? Where can people find all the stuff? Can they buy any merch? Can they?
Absolutely. You can. Everything is #1 Taigenz.com. Taigenz.com. All my music is there. Merch store and everything like that. Obviously on all the platforms, streaming platforms, follow me, Taigenz, IG, Spotify, all that. Go stream Life for Life EP if you want to buy it. You can buy it at any price on my Bandcamp, taigenz.bandcamp.com. And yeah, Life for Life, that's what we're doing. While you're waiting for the Afro project, which is gonna come when it's gonna come. But that's where you can find me.
Oh, thank you for coming on the show. We had a really great time.
Likewise.
Wish it could have been a little longer, but
it's all good.
We'll have you on next time.
Definitely.
Thank you, everybody, for watching another episode of the Hustle Podcast. We out.
Acting like I don't see the trend, but I seen you walking my way. We got a few mutual friends, but I can't recall your name. My girl left for the weekend, so she ain't home for 2 days. So I'ma send you a DM. Just follow back on my page. Now, if it ain't broke, don't you fix it. I give it to you straight like my drinks is. So whatever I do, I don't mix it. Either you my side or my mistress. Now we can only talk for a minute. My room or your bed, you can pick it. But if you walk away, I ain't tripping. All I ask is that you be consistent with your decisions. Girl, you say that you down. I don't think that you down. When I come around, you don't hit me all the time. When I'm not around, you gon' hit me all the time. Girl, you say that you down. I don't think that you down. When I come around, you don't hit me all the time. When I'm not around, you gon' hit me all the time. When I see you with your girls, then make me wanna buy you a drink, give you the world, then. And you know I got a girlfriend. It don't matter, we gon' act like if the world ends. When I see you with your girls, then make me wanna buy you a drink, give you the world, then. And you know I got a girlfriend. Girl, you gon' have to pay rent if you want space in my heart. All you gotta do is say when. But you can't stay after dark. You can pick another day when. I don't gotta wait for the spark. Women like you, I hate when you want me to chase, but if it ain't broke, don't you fix it. I give it to you straight like my drinks is. So whatever.